Chapter 61. Can you play the same music for me? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ing Lily did not answer Xingli. You are blocking my way. I can either look at you or the front, Xingli spoke as he saw Ing Lily was staring at him. Ing Lily immediately turned her head to the front. They had come out of the Fu Imperial Gates. Kongqi was running at its normal speed. Why are you sticking close to me? Move aside, Ing Lily complained and lightly hit Xingli on his belly using her elbow. You want to run then? It is not like I want to sit closer to you, Xingli snapped at her. Ing Lily felt Xingli's hand on her belly and she struggled. Leave me, Ing Lily protested. Xingli smiled and pulled the reins tied on Kongqi. He gained speed and started running fast. Her long hair was swinging with the air and some tiny strands were hitting on Xingli's face. Xingli got irritated with that and pulled the reins on the horse. Why did you stop? Ing Lily asked as she turned her head slightly when she felt Xingli's hands on her hairs. What are you doing? Ing Lily asked. Your hairs are irritating me, Xingli pronounced as he gently grabbed the long, silky hairs in his hands. I will do, Ing Lily stated. I am doing. Sit straight, Ing Lily felt Xingli's breath near her ear and she gulped. Xingli made a bun and kept it intact using a hairpin. It is done, Xingli stated and again started the ride. Where are we going? It seems an isolated path, Ing Lily concernedly spoke, but Xingli did not answer to her. Kongqi had turned to the forested route. After a while, Xingli pulled the reins, thus stopping Kongqi from going further. He got down from the horse and forwarded his hand to Ing Lily. Ing Lily slapped off his hand, and she got down from Kongqi. You wanted to come here? Ing Lily questioned. No, we have to go ahead as Kongqi cannot go there, Xingli stated, patting Kongqi. He tied Kongqi to a tree there and told Ing Lily to follow him. Here, hold my hand, Xingli stated. I am not a kid. I can walk, Ing Lily asserted. Xingli grabbed Ing Lily's hand and started walking briskly. You shall tell me that where we are heading to. Ing Lily queried, but Xingli did not reply to him. Ing Lily gave up asking and kept following Xingli. Sometime later, they turned to a narrow pathway. After walking it for 10 minutes, they heard the sound of falling water. Xingli turned left and, negotiating the bushes along with Ing Lily, reached near the waterfall. Ing Lily's eyes glistened as she looked around. The green forest had a waterfall at its center. There was a residence as well a few meters away from the waterfall. Xingli left Ing Lily's hand and turned to her. He found Ing Lily was delighted to see the place. Xingli, I never knew that you have also secret places, Ing Lily stated. Do you have your flute? Xingli inquired from Ing Lily. Ing Lily looked at her waistband. I left it in the palace, why? Ing Lily questioned. Xingli started walking towards the Lotus residence. Ing Lily was inquisitive regarding that, so she also followed the crown prince. Ing Lily found that the residence was not used by anyone for long. Xingli removed the climbers using the dagger that had reached the door. He pushed the door in and stepped inside. Ing Lily too stepped in and they were now on the residence's porch. Stay here, Xingli told Ing Lily, who nodded. Xingli came out in 5 minutes with a bamboo flute in his hand. The flute was decorated with beads and precious stones at some places. He turned to the backyard, gesturing to Ing Lily to follow him, who did so. The backyard had a swing hanging from a giant tree there. There was a water pond as well, but it had dried out, thus depicting that the place was not any longer in use. Can you play the same music for me? Xingli humbly requested Ing Lily, who was astonished to hear the request. Ing Lily blinked her eyes and wanted to ask the reason first, but then she peered into Xingli's eyes. Is he longing for someone? Why are those ice eyes are different today? Wait, it is because of his mother who used to play the flute. Ing Lily wondered. Please, Play the same song for me, Xing Li requested again as he forwarded the flute towards Ying Lili. Ying Lili nodded and took the flute from Xing Li. Xing Li sat on the swing. You may start. Ying Lili blew the air on the flute and a melodious sound was produced. She closed her eyes and started playing the song. Xing Li closed his eyes as he recalled those precious memories with his late mother. The enchanting tones coming out of the flute were similar to what his mother used to play. He recalled how his mother used to sit on the same rock and play the flute for him. Xing Li, if you will miss me then remember this music. It will show you that I am always with you, Xing Li's mother spoke. Mother, why are you saying this? You will be there for me to play this music, Xing Li asserted. In the present moment, Xing Li recalled his mother's pale face. She was so sick despite that, she daily played the same music on the flute. Tears poured down his eyes on his cheeks and by then music had also ended. Xing Li's hands were on the ropes hanging from the tree and he was sniveling. Ying Lili gradually opened her eyes and looked at Xing Li. She knitted her brows and was befuddled. Why is he crying? Ying Lili thought and took steps toward Xing Li. Halting right in front of Xing Li, Ying Lili placed her hand on Xing Li's right shoulder. Do not cry, Ying Lili softly spoke. Chapter 62. Consummate with you. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Ying Lili reached out her hand towards Xing Li when he caught her wrist. Ying Lili looked into the eyes of Xing Li which were turned reddened. Both kept staring into each other's eyes for a while. I did not permit you to be a part of my pain, Xing Li asserted. Ying Lili flinched her brows and removed his grip from her hand. The crown princess sat on the swing beside Xing Li as there was enough space for one person. Xing Li turned his head to look at Ying Lili. You are wrong. You permitted the moment you asked me to accompany you to this beautiful place. You permitted the moment you let me play the flute. Ying Lili's feather-like fingers touched the Xing Li's right cheek. You shall not cry on your birthday else late mother will feel the pain too seeing you like this, Ying Lili proclaimed, keeping a tiny smile on her lips. Ying Lili moved to the left cheek and wiped the tears from there too and turned her pearly eyes back to Xing Li's. She then pulled back her hand and put it on her lap. The crown princess turned her head and grabbed the rope on the swing with her left hand. The place is of your mother, right? Brother Nianzu told me that no one is allowed to speak about this day. It must be hard to carry that pain inside your heart, Ying Lili pronounced and turned to look at Xing Li. Xing Li was staring at Ying Lili. Am I right? You became like this because you were frustrated as a child because you could not be able to save your mother, Ying Lili deduced. Xing Li slightly widened his eyes and chuckled. You think too much. I was always like this. You are the only person who saw me like this. So, will you keep it a secret? Xing Li questioned in a stern expression. BL.net, you shall say please, as you are making a request. Ah, it is tough to see the mighty crown prince like this, Ying Lili teased Xing Li a bit and observed his reactions. Xing Li moved his eyes over Ying Lili's face. You must be enjoying seeing this state of mine, Xing Li asserted. Of course. It is hard to see the crown prince like this, Ying Lili proclaimed and giggled. She placed her palm over her rosy lips to control her laughter. Xing Li slightly smiled and averted his gaze. Why do we not revive this place again? Ying Lili suggested Xing Li who peered at her. I do not want to, Xing Li replied. I searched for that music you played for years. Today I let you see that side which I did not want anyone to see, Xing Li pronounced and stood up from the swing. He stepped forward when Ying Lili grabbed his hand, pulling him back. Xing Li wavered in step, but he balanced himself by grabbing the rope. He was half bent and his face was close to Ying Lili's. Both stared into the eyes of each other when Xing Li immediately stood straight. What were you doing? Xing Li annoyingly asked. Ying Lili lowered her eyes. I was making you sit on the swing. We have just come now. It is the place of your mother so, you shall spend more time here. I can play more music for you, if you want me to, Ing Lily politely said. Xing Li took the seat beside Ing Lily. Why are you so good to me today? Xing Li asked. If this is not a pity, then what is this? Xing Li amusingly asked. Why do you think it is a pity? Ing Lily queried him. Xing Li wanted to tell her, but the next moment, he changed his mind. Just do not tell anyone about today and also about this place, Xing Li requested Ing Lily. The Crown Princess thought to tease the Crown Prince a bit more. Why do you think I won't tell? Aren't we enemies? Enemies love to reveal the secrets of each other. If your brothers will know that the Crown Prince also cries. Ing Lily paused and noticed Xing Li's facial expressions and gave a suppressed smile. She stood up from the swing. If they will that the Crown Prince also cries, then what will they think? Ing Lily put her index finger near her chin and grinned at Xing Li, who snickered. The next second she was pulled down by the Crown Prince on his lap. Ah! Ing Lily passed a low scream as she was pulled suddenly by the Crown Prince. The breeze started blowing and tiny petals of the cherry blossom flowers started falling from the giant tree from which the swing was hanging. Ing Lily's both hands were rested on Xing Li's broad shoulders while Xing Li's hand was around Ing Lily's waist. Ing Lily felt nervous and pulled herself back, but Xing Li did not let her go. The pin on her hair bun had loosened, and it fell on the swing, thus, her hair was opened. Ing Lily lifted her hand to tuck her hair strands behind her ear when Xing Li grabbed her hair strands which were coming in front of Ing Lily's face. Xing Li tucked them behind her ear. Ing Lily felt the Xing Li's thumb touching her earlobe as he pulled it back. Ing Lily gulped as her heartbeat started rising. Xing Li brought his face closer to her. You are indeed beautiful, Ing Lily heard Xing Li. She felt his hot breath hitting against her lips. Ing Lily gazed into Xing Li's eyes, who were intensely gazing at her. Do not tell anyone about today's incident if you do not want me to spend a night with you, Xing Li pronounced. Ing Lily widened her eyes and saw the smirk on Xing Li's lips. The royal astronomer will come soon, and he will be going to suggest a day when I shall consummate with you for the royal heir. Now, the only person who can stop this is me, so, you have to cooperate else. Ing Lily covered Xing Li's mouth with her palm, thus stopped him from speaking. I understood, Ing Lily stated. Xing Li put her palm down and spoke, I like this trait of yours. Xing Li brushed the back of his index finger against Ing Lily's nose and passed her a smile before letting her go. Hello dear readers. Today is the mass release event for this book, and I will publish 5 chapters today, that is on May 14th. Keep voting for getting more chapters. Thank you to those who daily votes and gifts. Happy reading. Chapter 63. I will support the Crown Prince. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What? The Crown Prince and the Crown Princess have gone out. Lei Wanshi muttered as he heard from Xing Fu. Yes, Prince Wanshi, replied Xing Fu. That's why the feast is delayed to the evening, Lei Wanshi mumbled and turned to go. He left the inn of the Crown Prince and came to the palace grounds where General Xiao was giving commands to the soldiers. Seeing the 6th prince there, Xiao Zhan dismissed the soldiers from there and bowed his head in front of Lei Wanshi. General Xiao, you do not have to do such formalities with me, Lei Wanshi stared while fanning himself. Why did you not go behind the Crown Prince and the Crown Princess? Lei Wanshi queried. The Crown Prince wants to go alone somewhere with the Crown Princess. I cannot defy His Highness' orders, Xiao Zhan asserted. Lei Wanshi closed the fan in his hand. General Xiao, still you should have gone behind them. Do you not know how many enemies the Crown Prince has gotten? It is already 2 hours and it is worrying me out, Lei Wanshi stated with a distressed expression. Do not worry, Prince Wanshi, asserted Xiao Zhan and excused himself. Lei Wanshi took a deep sigh. I am indeed worrying too much, Lei Wanshi murmured and went towards the northern block of the palace where the kings and governors of various provinces in the Han Kingdom were staying. As he was walking through the northern corridor, he saw several young women were coming in his direction. Father has invited their daughters as well. Lei Wanshi wondered and kept walking when those young women slightly bowed their heads as Lei Wanshi came in front of them. Wanshi too bowed his head and lifted his head when he saw a woman standing at last, and it seemed to him that she did not bow her head while greeting him. I hope you all are having fun while roaming in the palace, Lei Wanshi proclaimed. Yes, Your Highness, the young women said in unison. Prince Yongjing and Prince Rong Zemin too came there. Seeing the second and third prince, the young women again bowed their heads. Lei Wanshi noticed that the same woman had her head high, which amused him. It is a pleasure to see the young daughters of the kings and governors 9 the provinces of Han, pronounced Yongjing, and passed a tiny smile to all of them. The feast is delayed. Hope you all have taken your meals, asserted Yongjing, while gently fanning himself. Yes, Your Highness. We have taken our meals. It is our pleasure to see the princes of the Han Empire. The rumors are true that Prince Yongjing is the most humble prince among all the 7 princes, a woman among them spoke who was in the second row, leftmost side. Lei Wanshi gave a suppressed laugh upon hearing that statement. Brother Yongjing is indeed the humblest amongst us. May I know what your name is, Mississippi? Rong Zemin politely asked. I am Lu Fanfang, the daughter of the governor of North Province. Her eyes were lowered while introducing herself. Fragrance of flowers, Yongjing stated. Lu Fanfang smiled, hearing the name of her meaning from Prince Yongjing's mouth. We shall leave, the woman at the last said, on whom Lei Wanshi's eyes were fixed for long. She came to the front and walked past the 3 princes. Lei Wanshi turned back and snickered. What is the reason for that glare? Lei Wanshi thought. The young women walked past the princes who gave them the way. Oh.org, Brother Yongjing, Miss Lu is interested in you. You shall try it, Rong Zemin asserted. Lei Wanshi slightly laughed. Brother Zemin, you again started judging who is good for the second brother, Lei Wanshi proclaimed and looked into Rong Zemin's eyes. What do you want to say? Yongjing asked. Miss Lu has a misunderstanding regarding the second brother. Are you really humble? Ask this question from yourself first, Lei Wanshi stated and closed the fan in his hand. I shall take my leave, Lei Wanshi then walked away from there. Yongjing clutched the fan in his hand tightly. He again started speaking impulsively against me as soon as Xingli returned, Yongjing muttered under his breath. Calm down, Brother Yongjing. Soon the crown prince will go to the southern province and we have to do our work before his return, Rong Zemin declared. He is taking the crown princess with him, so there is no use of our plans. I told the first brother to cut the wings of Xingli when he was young, Yongjing with a fit of rage said and threw the fan on the floor. He then put his shoe over the fan. I want to crush him like this, Yongjing furiously stated while pressing the fan beneath his shoe. Lei Wanshi halted near the northern pavilion. What was wrong with that woman? Those eyes were filled with vengeance. Did the crown prince harm any of her family members in any way? Lei Wanshi thought. He looked down from the pavilion on the wide ground. The ministers were walking after leaving the court. You seem tensed, Lei Wanshi heard Nianzhu who came forward and stood beside him. Brother Nianzhu, thank you for today. Brother Xing indeed is touched by Sister Lily's performance. I just hope their relationship will get better as soon as possible, Lei Wanshi stated. Brother Xing shall start gathering the trust of the ministers. Military support is excellent, but the support of the bureaucracy is indispensable at this point. But, the crown prince has anger management issues. I have to talk with Sister Lily because only she can make Brother Xing understand, Lei Wanshi remarked while knitting his brows. That's why I do not like this palace politics. I just want to live in the countryside, away from these fights, Nianzhu proclaimed. But you cannot do that, Brother Nianzhu. You are the royal prince. It is now a part of your destiny to stay in the palace, asserted Lei Wanshi with a smile. I know that's why I will support the crown prince in every way I can, Nianzu pronounced and gave a tiny smile to Lei Wanshi. Chapter 64. Whomever I want to kiss. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xingli and Yinglili arrived in the palace. The Fu imperial gates were opened and Kongqi got in, carrying both the crown prince and crown princess on his back. Xingli got down from the horse, and this time he did not ask Yinglili to hold his hand. Instead, he encircled one arm around Yinglili's waist, thus putting Lili on the ground. The stableman came there and bowed his head. He grabbed the reins on Kongqi and walked inside the stable. Xingli, here is the flute of your mother, Yinglili spoke as she took out the flute from her waistband. She forwarded it to Xingli, waiting for him to take the flute. Keep it. I do not know how to play the flute, so it is of no use to me. If mother would be here, then she would have given you this, Xingli remarked. Yinglili smiled and thanked Xingli. The two started walking towards the eastern block when they were joined by their servants. Yinglili was smiling while looking at the flute. Xingli found that cute and ended up giving a smile. Your uncle has come as well. He lied to you that I killed your father. Yinglili heard Xingli and she turned her head towards him. I told you to let me kill him there, but you stopped me, Xingli pronounced. Uncle will not betray us, Yinglili affirmed. I hope so, because you might get in danger. I will not be able to save you then from the Empress, Xingli stated with a frown. Yinglili gulped and blinked her eyes. You are getting judgmental. Uncle might fear you that time, as we had heard many strange rumors about you, Yinglili opined. Xingli chuckled. Now, your views have changed about me? Xingli inquired from Yinglili. What kind of rumors have you heard about me? Xingli was curious to know. He halted at his place and seeing him, Yinglili too stopped walking. Xingli's both hands were behind his back. Tell me. I am curious. He leaned closer to Yinglili with a smirk on her face while Yinglili bent on her waist, backward. Do you not know? Yinglili blinked her eyes. If I had known about those strange rumors then I would not have asked you, wild cat, Xingli asserted, keeping the grin on his lips. Yinglili twitched her lips. You will not feel bad, right? Yinglili asked Xingli before answering him. Xingli refused and shook his head in refusal. That you kill people mercilessly, you do not respect women, you have a harem of women, you are cruel and many other things, replied Yinglili. What are the many other things? Xingli queried Yinglili as he stepped closer to her. Yinglili bent more when she felt Xingli's hand on her waist. I do not want you to break your back, Xingli stated as he pulled Yinglili up, making her stand straight. Now, answer. I am listening, Xingli added. I do not remember, Yinglili replied right away. It means you were never interested in knowing those rumors about me. The first rumor is true. It is just that you have not seen my mercilessness because I do not want you to see that side of mine, and yes, I am cruel. The second rumor is not true. I do not disrespect women. I consider them equal to men. The third rumor is also not true. I am not interested in many women. I want only one woman in my life who will be like me in every aspect, Xingli pronounced. Xing Fu and court lady Su were suppressing their smiles, seeing the crown prince and the crown princess in such proximity. Who can be that one woman in your life just like you in every aspect? Yinglili questioned, peering into the eyes of Xingli. I am still searching for her, Xingli replied as he moved his eyes over Yinglili's face and then back to her eyes. So, Consort Shui was not that woman. That night you were shouting at me, saying that you love her, Yinglili pronounced and waited for Xingli's response. Wild cat, if she would be that woman then do you think I would have let her marry the first brother? I never loved her, Xingli affirmed. Liar, Yinglili snapped at Xingli. You are giving me a very wrong idea, Yinglili, Xingli stated. What? Yinglili exclaimed. You like me, right? You can tell me. That day when Shui kissed me, you were so mad out of jealousy, Xingli remarked. He was enjoying playing with Ying Lili, who was blushing now. Xingli used the thumb of his free hand and placed it over Ying Lili's right cheek. You are blushing again, the grin on Xingli's lips fidgeted Ying Lili. I am feeling hot. We just came from outside, so it is obvious that my cheeks will turn red, Ying Lili gave a reason. And, how can you say that I like you? I was not jealous. You can kiss whomever you want to kiss, Ying Lili said loud enough and then realized what she had just said. She brought her tongue between her teeth and closed her eyes when she felt Xingli's lips on her cheek. She widened her eyes and pushed him off, but Xingli's hand was still on Ying Lili's waist. What are you doing? Ying Lili in bewilderment asked. I did not do anything, Xingli cleared himself. You are the one who challenged me. I can kiss whomever I want to kiss. I can't kiss the other people here, so it is obvious that I have to kiss you, Xingli smirked and enjoyed Ying Lili's mystified expressions. Ying Lili could not believe the words of the man in front of him now. Get away from me, Ying Lili struggled as she kept pushing Xingli using her hands. The more you struggle, the more I want to hold you like this, Ying Lili heard Xingli. How could you do that? Ying Lili shot glares at Xingli. The servants were giggling, seeing the crown prince was getting romantic with the crown princess. Wild cat, what did I even do? You are grabbing unwanted attention, Xingli proclaimed as he tucked Ying Lili's hair strands behind her ear and then released his arm from Ying Lili's waist. Court Lady Su, please take your mistress to her inn, Xing gave an order and walked away from there, smiling. Ying Lili was still baffled by Xingli's act as she placed her hand on her cheek where Xingli had kissed just a moment ago. Chapter 65. Getting affectionate. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xingli reached his resting chamber and laid down on the bed. Your Highness, your lunch meal will be here in a while, Xing Fu humbly said. I will have my meal in the Crown Princess chamber. Inform the Crown Princess that do not start eating until I will be there, Xingli ordered and closed his eyes. Xing Fu bowed his head, took the steps backward, and walked out of the chamber, closing the door behind him. Xingli was reminiscing about the days from his childhood with his mother when he saw Ying Lili. Forthwith, he opened his eyes and blinked them. Why did I see her? Xingli thought when a tiny smile carved on his lips. Xingli got down from the bed. Prepare the bath for me, Xingli ordered in a loud enough voice that the maidservants outside the chamber heard him, so two of them went to the bathhouse. Xingli went to the end table on the left side wall and opened the drawer. He took out the scroll, which was the royal decree by his father, mentioning him to go to the southern province after the Lantern Festival. O.org, Wang Hao, I hope you will get a hold of the rebellions there because I have to return to the capital in 1 month period, Xingli thought in his mind when he heard the sound of the opening of the door. He put back the scroll inside the drawer and turned to look. Your Highness, I have given the message to the court Lady Su. Her Highness is going to take the bath first, so there might be some delay, Xing Fu replied, who was standing near the beaded curtains. Xingli smirked as he thought of something mischievous. Is my bath ready? Xingli questioned. Your Highness, the maidservants are preparing it. His Highness has to wait for 10 minutes, Xing Fu asserted. Your Highness, why do you not check the gifts given to you today? The portrait given by His Majesty is placed in your study room, Xing Fu informed Xingli. There is nothing to see. I got again those useless gifts except one, Xingli muttered as he recalled the perfume gifted by Ying Lili. Bring me the gift given by the Crown Princess, stated Xingli. Xing Fu nodded and went to the side room of the resting chamber. He came back and handed the wooden box to the Crown Prince. Xingli opened the box and looked at the perfume bottle. Her Highness prepared for this entire night, Xing Fu softly said and smiled. Xingli hummed at him and went back to the bed, laid on it. Xing Fu placed the wooden box on the table there. It seems your Highness is caring about Her Highness, Xing Fu stated. What do you mean? Xing Li sternly asked. Xing Fu lowered his eyes. I want to say that His Highness is getting affectionate towards Her Highness. Your relationship with Her Highness is improving, Xing Fu proclaimed. Xing Li did not feel to tell Xing Fu anything and thought to let him remain in an illusion. The bath is ready, Your Highness, a maidservant informed Xing Li, who instantly got down from the bed and walked out, followed by Xing Fu. As he entered the bathhouse, he told Xing Fu not to let anyone come inside of the Crown Princess bathhouse, not even maids. What is His Highness going to do? Xing Fu teasingly asked. You do not need to know, Xing Li replied and closed the giant doors of the bathhouse after throwing Xing Fu out along with the other maids. Xing Li undressed quickly and was now only in the black trousers. He removed the pin from his hair bun and put the crown down at the table there. Ying Lili, who was in the bathhouse next to the crown prince, noticed that the maidservants were leaving from there. She turned to see and found the door was closed. Is it Xing Li again? She studied the situation and quickly wrapped herself from the white-colored satin bathrobe and sat on the marble platform of the huge bathtub. She heard the sliding sound of the door. Are you pervert? Ying Lili shouted at Xing Li as she saw him coming there with half-naked body. She flinched her brows and averted his gaze from him. Lili, didn't I warn you not to call me pervert? Xing Li pronounced as he got into the bathtub. Ying Lili looked at him and then gulped. Why are you here? Go out else I will scream, Ying Lili stated as she tightly wrapped the satin bathrobe around her. You can scream, wild cat. I am your husband, so no one will come to help you. Instead they will take another meaning of this, Xing Li asserted as he grinned. Ying Lili curled up her toes, which were still under the water, while Xing Li kept walking towards her. Run, Lili, Ying Lili told herself and almost brought her legs out of the water when Xing Li grabbed her both arms, keeping her intact at the place. Where are you running, wild cat? Xing Li smirked as he flicked his fingers in front of Ying Lili's face, splashing the water droplets on her face. She shut her eyes tightly and at the same time wrapped the satin bathrobe tightly around her body. Do not do anything else I will kill you, Xing Li heard Ying Lili, who had opened her eyes, which amused him. How will you kill me? There is no weapon here, Xing Li whispered against Ying Lili's lips, who kicked Xing Li's leg. Ah! Xing Li passed a low scream when he saw Ying Lili had turned swiftly to run away from him. Before she could run, Xing Li pulled her into the bathtub. The force was immense, and the two ended up falling into the water, but at the right time Xing Li balanced himself and Ying Lili as well. The water was reaching Xing Li's waist, while for Ying Lili the level of water was slightly above the waist. Xing Li flipped his hair from which water droplets were dripping on his upper body and then shifted his gaze to Ying Lili. Chapter 66. How can a man cherish his woman? You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Xing Li's intense gaze and the smirk were making Ying Lili nervous. She lowered her eyes and clutched again the bathrobe tightly. There is no use of hiding them, Xing Li uttered as he moved his index finger, starting from Ying Lili's left hand, traveling through her arm. Xing Li, do not touch me. I did not permit you, Ying Lili affirmed when she felt Xing Li's finger on her collarbone. He was beaming at her. You were going to kill me, but see, I am still alive. Xing Li playfully spoke when he saw the tears had formed in the eyes of the crown princess. Xing Li felt somewhat bad, so he pulled his hand back immediately. Wild cat, I was only teasing you. I feel happy when I play with you. You do not need to cry, Xing Li spoke as he let go of his grip on the other arm of Ying Lili and took a step back. Ying Lili immediately turned back, not wanted Xing Li to see her. It is not good to play like this, Ying Lili spoke as she sat in the bathtub. Never once Xing Li felt guilty, but the woman in front of him made him feel so. You are such a persistent woman. Why crying? I was only teasing you. If I had to something to you then, would have on the wedding night. I now really wonder what would have happened to you if I would not be your husband. Xing Li stated. He was annoyed now but did not know at whom. At his childish behavior or because Ing Lily acted that way? Xingli heard Ing Lily speaking, if you would not be my husband then I would have found someone who could cherish me and unlike others could see my inner beauty instead of outer appearance. Xingli clutched her fists when he heard that Ing Lily would have found someone else. But why? Was it because now with her he felt somewhat happy, or was it because of a different reason? Xingli came forward to look at Ing Lily. He gently removed the hair strands in front of her face. But, now you are married to me so, you cannot dream of that man who could cherish you. Both peered into the eyes of each other when Xingli pulled back his hand. I am going. You ruined my mood. Saying this Xingli got out of the bathtub and went back to his bathhouse. Why did he seem as if it was my fault? He ruined my mood, Ing Lily frowned. The door of the bathhouse was opened, and the maidservants came there along with the court lady Su. Ing Lily had by then removed the bathrobe off her body and was still baffled by the crown prince's act. A maidservant started massaging her shoulders while the other was pouring rose water onto Ing Lily's body. Your Highness, did something happen between? Before court lady Su could complete her words, Ing Lily spoke, Court lady, nothing happened. Court lady Su did not ask anything more, as she observed that the crown princess was not in the mood. Xingli, on the other hand, was infuriated by the crown princess's behavior towards him. He threw his hand in the water, which scared Xing Fu and other maidservants there. Xing Fu, Xingli loudly spoke, who came forward and bowed his head, joining both hands which were near his belly. Yes, Your Highness, Xing Fu said and waited for the response from the crown prince. How can a man cherish his woman? Xingli asked in a low voice. Xing Fu lifted his eyes and then immediately lowered them down. There are many ways, Your Highness. His Highness can prepare daily gifts. Her Highness N. Shut up. Xingli shouted, and Xing Fu promptly stopped speaking. Xingli shot a glare at him. When did I say that it was Crown Princess and me? Do not say anything stupid. Xingli took out his anger at Xing Fu. Do your work quickly, Xingli ordered the maidservants in an infuriated tone. Xingli closed his eyes. Ah, who is she to make me feel this guilty? Can't she take a joke? She was also playing with me earlier. Why am I even caring what she wants and what she does not want? Xingli was murmuring, while Xing Fu was noticing all that. After taking the bath, both the crown prince and the crown princess went to their respective dressing chambers. Xingli came to Jinzhu Inn after getting ready for his lunch meal. Court lady bowed her head in front of the crown prince, who walked inside the door. He removed the beaded curtains and the sight he found was not good to him. Ing Lily was eating on her own when he even sent the message to her not to eat. Xingli sat on the ground stool and looked at the dishes and then at Ing Lily. Why have you started eating all by yourself without waiting for me? Xingli complained. Ing Lily did not answer when Xingli picked the spoon to drink the soup of chicken meatball soup. As he sipped it, he realized how many spices there were that he ended up coughing. He glared at Ing Lily, who was peacefully eating, and gulped the water when he noticed the suppressed smile on Ing Lily's lips. You did this, right? Xingli questioned Ing Lily as he put the glass on the table. Did I? Ing Lily asked as she met Xingli's gaze. You have no proof that I did that, Ing Lily affirmed and continued eating. Xingli ended up giving a chuckle and thought to eat the side dishes. He picked a thin slice of pork from the chopstick and put it inside his mouth. As he chewed, he found that salty. He ended up throwing that. Glaring at Ing Lily, Xingli spoke, this is not a good way of making your husband suffer. Ing Lily did not reply to him and finished the meal which was served to her. Xingli understood that Ing Lily was ignoring him. Oppositely, Ing Lily started eating the fresh grapes which were placed in a bowl. She had stood up from the seat and went towards the bed. Xingli threw the chopsticks at the table, annoyingly. He stood up from the table and thought to leave the place when something came to his mind. He turned his steps towards the crown princess, who was seated on the bed, enjoying the grapes. Ing Lily saw Xingli had come towards the bed, but she did not stop eating. Xingli sat on the bed, facing Ing Lily who was enjoying eating those grapes. Ing lifted her eyes to meet the gaze of Xingli. She forwarded a grape to Xingli who took that and then put a grape in between her lips and teeth. At that instant, Xingli placed his hand on Ing Lily's nape, bringing her face closer to him. Ing Lily widened her eyes, but before she could react, Xingli brought his lips closer to her and bit the grape, which was still half outside Ing Lily's rosy lips. She felt a slight brush of Xingli's lips onto hers and she was jolted up. Xingli leaned slightly back and ate the grape. It is tasty. I am full. And, I have changed my mind. Be ready for another passionate night with me, Xingli whispered as he tilted his neck slightly and grinned. Hello dear readers. Hope you have enjoyed these 5 chapters of today's mass release event. The next chapters will be updated tomorrow or the day after tomorrow depending on my schedule. Thank you. Happy reading. Chapter 67. Not even in my dreams you are listening at novelfull.audio. Ing Lily was perturbed by the sudden change in Xingli's thoughts. Was he again playing with her? She wondered while staring at Xingli who snapped his fingers in front of Ing Lily's eyes. Do not put so much stress in your mind. I am now interested in having a night with you, Ing Lily heard him again. You are turning back from your words. I will tell everyone about that place and also about how you were crying there. Ing Lily thought to blackmail the crown prince, who laughed at her. Xingli moved closer to Ing Lily. His left hand again was on Ing Lily's nape as he moved his eyes over her face. You can tell whomever you want. If the crown princess is thinking of escaping this then, I am afraid, she will end up giving wrong ideas to the palace people and the nation as well, Xingli averred. Ing Lily pulled back from Xingli's grip. Find yourself either a consort or a concubine to fulfill your sexual needs, she scoffed at him while getting up from the bed. Xingli grabbed Ing Lily's wrist, pulling her down. Ing Lily was now on his lap with her back towards Xingli. You are not allowed to leave the conversation in the middle when I am talking, Xingli whispered in Ing Lily's ear, who turned her head slightly. How can the crown prince forget what he has said on the wedding night? Moreover, we do not love each other. The crown prince has promised me that he will handle this matter, Ing Lily affirmed, turning her head back to the front. Xingli noticed that his attempt to scare Ing Lily was unsuccessful. He was desperate to see the fretful expression on his crown princess. He pushed away Ing Lily, which baffled her as she landed on the bed. I am going. I enjoyed this day thanks to you, wild cat. Ing Lily saw the smile that had appeared on Xingli's lips. She saw the crown prince had strode out of the room. After a few minutes, Court Lady Su came inside with 2 maidservants, who cleaned the table. Court Lady Su bowed her head, Your Highness, His Majesty has sent the royal decree. She was polite and calm as usual. What kind of royal decree? Ing Lily skeptically asked. Your Highness, you have to leave for the southern province with the crown prince after celebrating the Lantern Festival, Court Lady Su informed the crown princess who flinched her brows. Ing Lily questioned, Do you know the current situation of the southern province? Forgive me, Your Highness. I do not know, Court Lady Su replied. Ing Lily nodded and laid down on the bed. Court Lady Su came forward and pulled the blanket up to cover the crown princess from it. Take a rest, Your Highness, Court Lady Su stepped back and then pulled the curtains down which were attached to the bed. Ing Lily was tired after going out, so she drifted off to sleep. Xingli was eating lunch in his room when he heard a voice, The 6th prince is here to meet the crown prince. Xingli put the chopstick down on the plate and drank the water. Lei Wanqi came inside and found that the crown prince was having his lunch so late. Why is Brother Xing eating so late? Lei Wanqi asked as he pulled the chair around the circular table for him. Do not ask. Ing Lily again messed up with my meal, Xingli muttered. Lei Wanqi sat on the chair, Brother, you are enjoying your time with Sister Lily. Good to see that you are getting close to her. I told you not to call her sister. Use a formal title, Xingli advised. Forgive me, Your Highness, but I would like to call her sister Lily only, Lei Wanshi smiled. Xingli shook his head as he inquired, so, why are you here? The daughters of the kings and governors of the provinces are also invited. I encountered a young woman among them who seemed suspicious. I am afraid if Brother Sheng has done something to her family. Lei Wanshi asserted as he poured the water into the glass for himself. Suspicious. The invitees here are all those who accepted the suzerainty with no war, Xingli pronounced. Lei Wanshi nodded as he placed the glass on the table after drinking water from it. Then, I shall keep a check on her. Who knows, she wants to assassinate you. Lei Wanshi expressed his concern. I cannot be assassinated that easily, Xingli affirmed. Still, we shall be careful, Brother Sheng. I have received the message from Hu Jinghua as well. He has safely crossed the capital borders. He told me to pass a message to His Highness that he has to take care of Sister Lily, Lei Wanshi informed and noticed the reactions on Xingli's face. Xingli chuckled. That guy. Who is he to order me like this? I can take care of Lily in the way I want. Lei Wanshi noticed the jealous expressions on the crown prince's face. The sixth prince could not hold his laughter any longer. Hearing his laughter, Xingli shot a glare at him. Lei Wanshi put his palm on his mouth. Forgive me, brother. What can I do? I have never seen you get angry like this, Lei Wanshi suppressed his smiles. Don't get any wrong ideas. I know what you are thinking, Xingli stated and continued eating. I saw how my brother was getting romantic with Sister Lily. Are you still going to deny that you are falling for Sister Lily? Lei Wanshi searched for an answer from Xingli, who started coughing. Lei Wanshi stood up from the chair and went towards Xingli. He patted on Xingli's back and handed him a glass of water. When Xingli turned stable, Lei Wanshi came back to his seat. Do not ever joke like this. I can never fall for her, not even in my dreams, Xingli in a fit of rage affirmed. Do you want to make a bet with me, Brother Sheng? You are good in politics, governance, warfare, but you cannot see your own feelings which are growing toward Sister Lily, Lei Wanshi asserted and looked for a reply. Xingli snickered. Wanshi, I do not want to make any bet and I know what I feel about her. Xingli cleared himself as he threw the chopsticks on the table and wiped his mouth using the napkin. Lei Wanshi found that the crown prince was raged just by that statement. Why is Brother Sheng resisting his feelings so much? Lei Wanshi wondered as he knitted his brows. Chapter 68. Not beat but kill him. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The evening feast had started. In the grand hall of the imperial palace, every regal family member had shown his presence except the emperor and the empress. The guests who were invited had taken their respective seats. As soon as the announcement of the arrival of the emperor and the empress was made, everyone stood up from their respective seats, the emperor and empress of Han. Once the emperor and empress had taken the seats, others took their seats. It is a glorious moment to see all the kings and governors of Han province. The great Han benefited after the merger of tiny provinces in it, Han Wenji pronounced with a warm smile on his lips. Your Majesty, we are extremely happy to be a part of the great Han Empire, voiced the governor of North, Western Province, Bingzhou Province, Qiu Jiewa proudly. Others also agreed with him. Han Wenji raised the golden cup which had wine in it. Let's cheer for the prosperity of Han on this auspicious day, Han Wenji asserted. All the people present in the grand hall raised their cups and drank wine after the emperor. The feast has begun, Han Wenji stated, and everyone started eating. The crown princess looked at the crown princess. Are you still hungry after eating so much? Xingli asked. Lily did not answer him and continued eating. Xingli picked a slice of fish meat and placed that on the plate on which Lily was eating. Lily tilted her head and raised a brow. Eat that, Xingli stated. Ying Lili put that aside. Do not irritate me, Ying Lili affirmed. Father, Xingli suddenly spoke, which diverted everyone's attention to Xingli. Han Wenji looked at the crown prince with inquisitiveness. Father, on this auspicious day I think that the crown princess must serve the special custard she has learned from her mother, Xingli pronounced. Ying Lili stopped eating and skeptically peered at the crown prince. What is the crown prince trying to say? Wen Wei questioned. Mother, one day the crown princess and I were talking about the city of Juyan, Xingli proclaimed and turned his eyes towards Ying Lili. My crown princess told me that her mother knows a special custard which she has also learned from her. Since we all are gathered here today, so I think that the crown princess must serve us that special custard, Xingli suggested, and then gazed back at the empress. But, now we all have started eating. The crown princess must be hungry as well, Jian Guizhi asserted and smiled. Respected first brother, my crown princess has eaten so much during lunchtime that she is full and now wants to make a custard for us, Xingli proclaimed. Jian Guizhi tightened his fist and looked at Yongzheng. Your Highness, the custard is already prepared as the sweet dish. We can eat the custard from Her Highness's hands in the morning, Yongzheng opined. It is my birthday. I want to eat right now the custard made by my crown princess, Xingli expressed his desire. The crown prince is acting like a child. Xingli heard King Ji Kai Huang saying. Child. Xingli mumbled. Who said this? Xingli in a fit of rage asked. Ji Kai Huang gulped in fear when Han Wenji intervened. Since it is your birthday, your wishes I must fulfill. The crown princess is also willing for this. We all will wait for the custard that the crown princess will serve as a sweet dish, Han Wenji pronounced. Xingli thanked his father. Ying Lili stood up from the seat, bowed her head, and left from the grand hall with court lady Su for the royal kitchen. Xingli grinned, looking at Jian Guizhi who was giving a broad smile to him. You escaped your death today, but for how long? I will kill you at any cost, Jian Guizhi thought in his mind. Ying Lili was outraged after Xingli suddenly, out of nowhere, expressed his desire to eat the custard. I know he did this to trouble me. I wish I could beat him to a pulp. No, not beat but kill him, Ying Lili muttered in anger. Court Lady Su told the crown princess not to say such things openly. Court Lady Su, I am angry. How will I make custard for so many people? Ying Lili murmured. In a while, they reached the royal kitchen. The royal chef bowed and the other kitchen assistants bowed their heads seeing the crown princess. You may lift your heads, Ying Lili stated. Royal chef, I need to make custard for 150 people. Please bring the cauldron, Ying Lili ordered. Yes, your highness, the royal chef looked at one of his assistants and gestured to him to do that. Ying Lili rolled up her long sleeves while court lady Su made her wear an apron. Your highness, you can instruct us about the recipe, the royal chef opined. I have to make it. Just assist me in the work. Chop the dry fruits and bring the rose petals as well, Ying Lili ordered. Milk was poured into the cauldron and the burner flame was increased using more wood. The fruits were brought there, and the assistant started cutting them. Ying Lili, on the other hand, was checking the milk as it needed to be dense to a certain limit. Your highness, may I ask why are we using rose petals in this custard? The royal chef humbly asked. In Juyan we used to do that. Rose tea is beneficial for health, so we use it in custard as well, Ying Lili replied and tried picking the lid from over the cauldron when two servants came ahead and helped her. In the grand hall, everyone was enjoying the meals and at the same time talking with each other. An hour is going to pass. The crown prince has made the crown princess work for just a custard. Jian Guizhi sarcastically spoke. It seems the first brother is not interested in the custard made by my crown princess, Xingli argued. Jian Guizhi chuckled upon hearing the statement of Xingli when the maidservants entered there with trays in their hands. In every tray, there were 8 bowls filled with custard. The custard is here. Prince Wenyu excitedly said. Ing Lily smiled hearing that and came towards Xingli, who was smiling at her. She picked the bowl and placed it on the table. You did not put salt in it, right? Xingli asked. Ing Lily twitched her lips as she took the seat beside him. Then do not eat it, Ing Lily snapped at him. The sweet fragrance of rose is coming out of this custard. It is making me drool, Lei Wanqi loudly said in an excited tone. The emperor and the empress agreed with the sixth prince. They all started eating. Ing Lily peered at Xingli, who was taking in the sweet smell of the custard. How did you make it? I thought you do not know how to cook. Xingli looked at Lily for the answer. Just eat, Ing Lily stated. Xingli smiled and sipped the custard. He was out of words because the custard was delicious. The proportions of the flavors were perfect. Everyone there was enjoying eating that sweet dish. It is so tasty, Ing Lily heard Xingli, so he ate more. He put the spoon in the bowl and turned to Ing Lily. You made this, right? Because I still doubt, Xingli queried. Of course, I made it, Ing Lily replied and picked the spoon to taste the custard when Xingli started coughing. Ing Lily turned her head to him when she saw Xingli was coughing blood. Ing Lily stared at Xingli with blood in his hand, and the next second he fell from his seat. Chapter 69. Do not accuse the crown princess. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ing Lily was shocked, so was everyone there. Xingli, she murmured and quickly stood up. She went to him and quickly sat on her knees. Xingli, she held his hand and looked at his face with a fretful expression. Han Wenji left his seat, so did Wen Wei. The other princes too came running towards the crown prince. Ing Lily placed Xingli's head on her lap, who was still coughing. General Xiao came there and bent on his knees. His Highness is poisoned, Xiao Zhan stated. Jian Guizhi got confused and looked at Yongzheng, who was also baffled. Xingli had closed his eyes by then. Take the crown prince to his resting chamber. Call the royal physician, Han Wenji shouted, who was also on his knees as he was caressing Xingli's head. Xiao Zhan carried Xingli on his back and ran out from there, followed by the crown princess and the others. In the resting chamber of the crown prince, the royal physician was checking Xingli's pulse. How is my son? Han Wenji worriedly asked. Your Highness, I would like to have a private discussion with you, royal physician requested, bowing his head. Han Wenji looked at the princes and his empress. They all left when General Xiao came towards the crown princess. Your Highness, please come with me this way, Xiao Zhan asserted. Ing Lily nodded and walked out from there. Xing Fu closed the door of the resting chamber. General Xiao, who can do that? Did you start your investigation? Lei Wanqi queried. Isn't it obvious who can do that? Shui Yan questioned all of them. What do you mean, Consort Shui? Wen Wei asked. Mother, forgive me if I crossed the line, but I think the one who poisoned the crown prince is none other than the crown princess, Shui Yan pronounced. Shui, do not accuse the crown princess, Jian Guizhi scolded her and then turned to look at Ing Lily. Your Highness, please forgive Consort Shui for saying such a harsh thing. General Xiao and I will find the real culprit behind all this, Jian Guizhi affirmed. Ing Lily was still in shock at what just happened when Nianzu went to her. Your Highness, Brother Sheng will be fine, Nianzu consoled Ing Lily, who was slightly nervous. Is the crown prince fine? Wen Yu asked with teary eyes. Consort Huang went to her son and called the assistant for him. Take Prince Yu to his chamber, Consort Huang ordered. The assistant came forward and took Wen Yu from there. The door of the room was opened, and the emperor stepped out. Everyone wanted to know what the royal physician had told him. A rare and extremely strong poison has been fed to the crown prince in the custard, Han Wenji stated. Is my son fine? What about the royal physician? He is the best in medicine in the entire Han. He has the antidote, right? Empress Wei looked for an answer. Han Wenji refused. He does not know. But he is trying his best. General Shao, find the culprit as soon as possible. Start with the royal kitchen. Increase the security here and no one is allowed to go inside the chamber of the crown prince except the royal physician. Han Wenji gave the order. Yes, your majesty. Xiao Zhan bowed his head and left from there. Han Wenji looked at the crown princess who was moving her eyes here and there. Crown princess, I would like to talk to you. Follow me, Han Wenji commanded and walked away. Empress Wei followed him along with 3 consorts and a concubine. Sister Lily, do not be scared, Lei Wanshi tried cheering Ying Lily who walked away from there along with Court Lady Su. Respected first brother, what do you think? Who can do this? Lei Wanshi with a stern expression asked. Jian Guizhi did not answer him and left from there. Lei Wanshi and Nianzhu looked at each other. Someone has framed Sister Lily. Father did not say in front of us, but he is suspecting Sister Lily. What shall we do? Lei Wanshi asked Nianzhu. We cannot do anything in the current situation. Everyone had their custards and only the bowl which Her Highness served to the crown prince had the poison, Nianzhu stated. Lei Wanshi knitted his brows upon hearing that. The crown princess could be seen standing in front of the emperor in the chamber of virtue. For almost an hour, the emperor did not utter a word, which turned Ying Lily anxious. After a while, Han Wenji opened his mouth to speak. Did you do it? Han Wenji directly questioned. Ying Lily lifted her eyes and then lowered them. I did not do this, Ying Lily affirmed. The poison which was fed to Xingli is from Juyan. The royal physician has told me. Do you know why I am talking with you in private? Han Wenji asked. Ying Lily's eyes turned watery, and she shook her head in refusal. I believe that the crown princess cannot do this, but speculations are showing something else. Ying Lily looked into the eyes of the emperor. Xingli is my everything, and if something happens to him, without any second thought, I will give punishment to you along with your family even if you did nothing. Find out the culprit before that and pray that Xingli wakes up soon, Han Wenji ordered. Ying Lily bowed her head. I will find the real culprit, Ying Lily proclaimed. You may leave, Han Wenji said in a dejected tone. Ying Lily left the chamber and found the soldiers coming there with a maidservant. Commander Tao Zedong led the soldiers. He stopped seeing the crown princess, followed by the other soldiers, and bowed his head. Your Highness, good thing that you are here, Tao Zedong asserted. Ying Lily was bewildered to hear that. Please come inside with me, Commander Tao stated. Ying Lily nodded and went back to the chamber of virtue. Seeing the commander and the crown princess there, Emperor Han Wenji put down his hand from his forehead. Your Majesty, this maidservant has heard the crown princess saying that she would kill the crown prince, Commander Tao pronounced. Ying Lily widened her eyes and shook her head. Is this true? Han Wenji asked the maidservant. Yes, Your Majesty, the maidservant had lowered her head. Her Highness was going to the royal kitchen along with the court lady Su when I heard Her Highness saying that she will beat His Highness Toa. The maidservant was hesitant to say further when Han Wenji shouted at her to speak. To a pulp, no, not pulp but will kill him, the maidservant completed her words after stuttering. Your Majesty, I accept I said this, but I did not. Before Ying Lily could speak, the Prime Minister Wei Zhongyong came there. Her Highness is the one who poisoned the crown princess because her uncle has confessed saying that he gave the poison bottle to the crown princess just before the feast started, Wei Zhongyong accused Ying Lily. General Shao came there with the king of Juyan, Song Li Xiu. Ying Lily blinked her eyes, as she could not believe her uncle told lies there. Song Li Xiu came onto his knees and apologized. Shu, uncle, why are you lying? Ying Lily questioned him. Indeed, I met you but you did not give me anything, Ying Lily cleared herself out. Your Majesty, I had told you not to go with this marriage alliance. Not even a week has passed, and they have shown their true colors. Your Majesty, punish them for their crimes, Wei Zhongyong appealed. Did you find the bottle in which there was poison? What about the servants and food inspectors? Did they not taste the food before it was brought to the Grand Hall? Han Wenji queried General Shao, who nodded. He showed a tiny porcelain bottle in his hand. I found it in the kitchen. It had the poison. The servants had indeed checked every bowl before it was brought to the Grand Hall in front of the food inspectors, Xiao Zhan informed the emperor. But the Crown Princess did not let the food inspector taste the custard which she served later to the Crown Prince, the Prime Minister opined. Your Majesty, that's because. The Prime Minister did not let Lily speak. Crown Princess, one bottle is found from your resting chamber as well. What does Her Highness want to say about that? Wei Zhongyong inquired from the Crown Princess. General Shao, please show the tiny bottle of poison which you have found from the Crown Princess chamber. Forgive us for checking your chamber, but it was important after the King of Jian confessed the truth, the Prime Minister pronounced. Someone might have placed it there, Lily defended herself. The Prime Minister laughed and then apologized for his misbehavior. The Crown Princess is brilliant in making the plans, but she failed to see that other eyes are always on her. Bring the assistant cook here who had seen the Crown Princess putting this poison in the bowl, Wei Zhongyong ordered. The assistant cook came there and bowed his head. Just speak the truth, Han Wenji stated. The Crown Princess said that she will prepare the custard bowl for the Crown Prince herself. We all were working when I saw that the Crown Princess took the bowl towards the other side. Her Highness then put some liquid in it. I thought it is a part of the recipe, so I did not dare to say anything, the assistant cook proclaimed. That was a sweet syrup. Xingli. I mean the Crown Prince likes sweet dishes, so I thought to add the syrup in that to enlighten his mood, Lily enunciated. She then came onto her knees, Your Majesty, please believe me. Give me time to prove myself. They all are accusing me. Lily requested as she lowered her head. General Shao wanted to help the Crown Princess, but he was tied to his duty so did not dare to speak anything there. Respected Crown Princess, no one is accusing you with no valid proof. If Her Highness thinks that she can escape this, then I would like to summon someone who will clarify the relationship of the Crown Prince and the Crown Princess, Wei Zhongyong asked for permission from the Emperor. Lily got worried hearing the statement of the Prime Minister. Chapter 70. Uncrowned as the Crown Princess. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Lily turned to look and saw Su Binshi coming there. She could not believe her eyes. He lied to me. Lily thought as she saw Su Binshi coming at the front. Greetings to His Majesty. I am Su Binshi who was assigned for the Crown Princess. Wei Zhongyong came to the front and spoke, Your Majesty, everyone knows the blunt nature of the Crown Princess towards the Crown Prince. This maid now works as a washer. She will tell you how many times the Crown Princess has tried killing the Crown Prince, the Prime Minister enunciated. Lily both hands were on the blue-colored floor carpet and she found that she was stuck from everywhere. You may speak, Han Wenji permitted Su Binshi. Your Majesty, on the wedding day the Crown Princess attacked the Crown Prince with a dagger. Su Binshi's words brought tears in the eyes of the Crown Princess. Crown Princess on regular occasions used to threaten the Crown Prince that she would kill him one day even if she has to die, Su Binshi told the Emperor. Your Majesty, the matter is clear now. The Crown Princess has planned all this with her uncle. Wei Zhongyong appealed to the Han Wenji who was looking at the Crown Princess. Your Majesty, forgive me for agreeing to the Crown Princess in this. I did not give the poison to the Crown Prince, so please spare me and my people, Song Li Xiu pleaded to the Emperor. A teardrop fell from Lily's eye. She felt so helpless for the first time. She realized the mistake she had made by not listening to Xingli when he told her that Su Binshi was a spy and her uncle was the one who killed her father. It's not kindness, Lily, but it is your stupidity, the words of Xingli revolved in Ing Lily's mind. Your Majesty, I ask for the death punishment for the crown princess and her family so, that no one ever dare to evilly plan like them. If His Majesty wants a court decision on this then, I will call for that as well. Wei Zhangyong loudly spoke such that his voice roared in the chamber. They say you are brainy but I think the otherwise. That you are a stupid woman. This is the palace where everyone wants the downfall of the other. Not every time I will be there to save you. Xingli's words were echoed in Ing Lily's mind at that moment. The tears keep pouring down her eyes as her head was lowered. Do you know why I spared you? Because you are the one who stepped ahead that day and replied me back. No one has ever talked with me looking straight into my eyes and I liked your bravery but I would like to see how would you survive in the palace. Ing Lily recalled another conversation which she had with the crown prince when she was brought to the Han capital city. Your Highness, say something, General Shao in his mind said as he looked at the crown princess who seemed like she had lost the hope. Your Majesty, you are delaying the justice. It is about the nation's crown prince. Wei Zhangyong pressured the emperor when Ing Lily stood up, wiping the tears from her eyes and held her head high. I did not poison the crown prince. Indeed, I said those words to the crown prince but that was because of the anger I had inside me. Your Majesty, give me a chance to prove myself. The great laws of Han has mentioned that even a culprit is given the chance to prove himself innocent. I, Ing Lily, will prove my innocence. Ing Lily requested for a chance from Han Wenji. I do not think that the crown princess has anything to prove herself, Han Wenji proclaimed. Hearing that, Wei Zhangyong gave an evil smile but the smile on his lips disappeared when he heard the emperor, but you are right, crown princess. The laws of Han gives the chance the culprit to prove himself innocent. You have the time till the morning. Fail to do so, you will be uncrowned as the crown princess and the further punishment will be decided tomorrow morning after seeing the condition of the crown prince. The emperor announced his decision. Ing Lily bowed her head, I am grateful to you, your Majesty. Throw the king of Juyan in the prison along with the other people who have come from Juyan. Check their belongings and punish them in whatever way it is suitable. Han Wenji gave the punishment to Ing Lily's uncle and the guests who had come there to attend the feast. Your Majesty, why are you punishing us? I did what the crown princess has told me, Song Li Xiu pleaded, who was on his knees and bent down such that his forehead touched the floor. Your Majesty, please spare us. Song Li Xiu kept pleading. Ing Lily clutched her waist skirt tightly upon hearing that. Since when her uncle turned like this, she wondered, or he was like that. Just she could not figure out that. Han Wenji dismissed all of them. General Shao gestured to Commander Tao to take away the witnesses from there while the Prime Minister also took his leave. General Shao followed the crown princes. As they came out, Court Lady Su worriedly asked Ing Lily if she was fine. I am okay. You shall go to the crown prince manor. Do not worry about me. I am with General Shao. I have to prove my innocence and I have gotten less time for that. Court Lady Su, you also know about the medicines, so can you? General Shao intervened in the middle. Your Highness, if the royal physician is finding it difficult to remove it, then it is difficult for everyone. Do not worry, Your Highness. His Highness will make it as he is consuming poison since a very long time, General Shao assured Ing Lily. But the poison is deadly. That's why he coughed blood despite consuming poison for a long time. I have heard about this poison but I did not know the antidote. Ing Lily muttered as she frowned. Your Highness, the royal physician will cure the crown prince. We shall think what to do to save you. Every evidence is against Her Highness, General Shao asserted. Ing Lily nodded and thought to go to the royal kitchen first.